Sharon Melios, Millionaire Team member from Tassie. Fantastic to have you all online with us tonight. We are in for an amazing webinar tonight with Senior Executive President's Team member George Knight. I can't wait to hear what George has to say. I'm obviously privy to the information that George is going to go through with us. So please ensure that you're not looking at anything other than the screen. You've got your notebook there and you're ready to take some notes. It's going to be absolutely awesome. So just wanted to share a little bit about myself first of all. So I'm very excited and very privileged to be the host of tonight's call. My story actually started almost 13 years ago. I was living in a small country town in New South Wales at the time, and I found myself at the age of 16. I'd actually left home. I found myself living, as I said, in a small country town. I was unemployed. I was what I thought, a little overweight at the time, and things weren't looking really good for me at all. I had a high school education. I actually didn't even finish year 11, so I had no qualifications in absolutely anything, and I actually still don't to today. And that's an amazing thing about Herbalife. It's not actually a requirement, which is fantastic. So what I did was I was actually looking for a job at the time, and I answered a little ad, and essentially I heard some information over the VCR, the video cassette thing at the time, so many years ago. And I got excited about the results. And essentially I thought, why not me? And I just got started. I borrowed the money to do so at the time. My first STS was a 5-hour drive. It was part of the commitment I was told I needed to do from my sponsor, was to attend the STS, get a great product result. I lost 14 kilos in 3 months. I had severe dermatitis that, much to my surprise, cleared up, and digestive problems I've had for so many years cleared up. I went on and lost 20 kilos, and I've managed to keep that weight off for the entire time. And most of you would be aware that I'm actually a little over 6 months pregnant at the moment, and I have not had a single day of morning sickness at all. So I'm so excited about that, and I feel absolutely fantastic. And in terms of the business, my product result really set me up for the belief in the business. Within a few months, I was actually earning about $1,300 a month. Within 12 months, my income got to a point where it was about $7,000 a month. And then within the 12 months that followed, just 2 short years, my income had got to a point where it was $15,000 a month. I've travelled the world with Herbalife. I've been overseas about 36 times in not even 13 years. So I'm so excited about Herbalife, and more excited today than I ever have been about anything that we are doing. And a lot of that is what George is going to talk with us about tonight. So enough of me. I'd like to introduce the superstar, Senior Executive President's Team member, George Knight, who's going to share some wisdom in the psychology of the opportunity meetings, our HOMs, and I tell you what, we're kicking some serious butt here in Tassie, I must say, and it's completely out of control what they're doing in Melbourne. So pens and papers, guys, over to you, George.
Thanks, Sharon. I was wondering what you're going to say there, kicking some serious whatever. Very briefly, I mean, most of you know a little bit about my background, but I'll be brief. I've run my own business since I was a kid, since I was 18, because I just didn't want to work for a boss. And I've always been ambitious, and I've always worked hard, but truthfully, I worked hard at trying to be financially independent and found myself having less independence than I would have had if I worked for a boss. Interestingly enough, my first business was involved in the personal development industry and became very successful, but I was working 6 and 7 days a week, 5 and 6 nights a week, like most business people. Built another successful business, put my money into a computer business and lost everything, which is how I got into Herbalife. A friend of mine got me onto these products. I lost weight, my energy improved, my skin improved. Friends saw my results. They got on the products and got results. And Andrea Williams, who was my girlfriend at the time, said I should get into this business. And quite honestly, I didn't see it as a business for me. But the truth is that people were making more money than me, and they all looked better than me, so I got involved. And what I'm about to tell you is not something I share with a lot of people, but it it will really underpin why we're doing a training on how to do a Herbalife opportunity meeting. When I first looked at the business, I saw an incredible product. I saw people getting results. I saw people making money. Many of those people I probably wouldn't have even employed in my previous businesses. I saw a company that was just so credible and so strong, but then I saw the way it was being delivered, and it frankly had what I call a high degree of cringe factor. The way the business and the way the opportunity was presented seemed to me to be written by people who really didn't have a lot of empathy with what our market was in Australia. And so in very simple terms, we put together a presentation, and the presentation really was a set of words which overcame and overcomes most objections before they're raised. Prior to that, what I found was that people would talk Herbalife, 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 would spew out so much information over their prospect that the prospect would all but try to escape. For some of you know what I'm talking about, all but try to escape. And so all we did was make a decision that meetings was a tactic that we were going to use, and for my money, all a meeting is more than one person. And so we proceeded, Andrew and I proceeded person by person, getting into little groups. Then those groups got a bit bigger, and then a bit bigger, and then a bit bigger, and we built our business around the world through meetings. Now, you know, I often hear people say, meetings are meetings. For me, any other way of doing this business is hard work. Through meetings, what happens is the power of group dynamics solves most problems for you. You see, I had to get a result quickly, which meant I didn't have time to learn a lot, which meant that if all I did was get people into a meeting, hopefully the testimonials within that meeting would overcome most objections. And that's exactly what happened. So I didn't have to learn a lot. All I needed to do was to put people into a meeting where the meeting would do the work for me. Now, what I'm going to do is walk you through a PowerPoint presentation that we use in Victoria. But I need you to understand this PowerPoint is purely a presentation that a person would give one-on-one. So it is a one-on-one meeting that you could have in a coffee shop, you could have it in your lounge room, you could have it over in the school, you could have it anywhere. You could have it on your laptop, sitting in the front seat of your car with somebody sitting next to you, and you could go, let me tell you what we're doing. So I'm going to really emphasize, it is a one-on-one presentation. It's the set of words that I use if I'm talking to a prospect. But it just happens to be that this set of words can be used in front of one person, 10 people, or 10,000 people. So let me start. I'm going to assume that Sharon is my mate. Sharon is my buddy, and I've just started in the business. And I'm going to say to her, I'm going to say, hey, listen, Sharon, you know, I'm started with this new business, and I've only been around a little while, but I just want to tell you what we're trying to achieve. Here, and if I'm in Victoria, I'm going to say here in Victoria, the goal of the company is they're going to get 10,000 people using these products that I've been talking to you about. And in order to do that, they're going to need more leaders. Now, that's what I would say to Sharon if I was one-on-one. If I'm standing in front of 100 people, ladies and gentlemen, our goal is to get 10,000 more people using these products. In order to achieve that, we need more leaders to help us do that. So I hope I'm making sense. So what I'm doing, it's a one-on-one, as I say, a one-on-one presentation, which we then do in front of a group. And you know, I'm going to talk to Sharon as though she's my mate, and then I'm going to talk about it, how we deal with it in the meeting. And you know, Sharon, I know that if we achieve that goal, if the company achieves that goal of 10,000 more people, there's going to be 50 people earning $5,000 to $15,000 a month. There's going to be 12 people earning 15 to 30, And can you believe there's going to be 5 people earning 30,000 plus a month? Again, that's how I would talk to Sharon if I'm in front of a group. Ladies and gentlemen, they're in this room. There are people who want to earn money, and we achieve our 10,000 people wanting to improve their nutritional habits. There's going to be 50 people earning 5 to 15, 12 people earning 15 to 30, 5 people earning 30,000 plus. I hope this is making sense in the way I'm presenting it, guys. I hope I'm not confusing you. Now I'm going to talk again to Sharon one-on-one. So I go to the next slide. Hey, Sharon, the reason we're sitting down here is just that I can sort of go through this PowerPoint. Now, if I'm standing in front of a group, the reason for this gathering is to communicate our message to a group instead of one person at a time. Why do I explain that in a group? Because your prospect is sitting in a room of people wondering, what the hell is happening here? Why is there a group presentation? And so you need to explain why there's a group presentation. Then we go to the next slide. If I'm talking one-on-one, hey Sharon, you know, you might just be interested in these products. I don't know. You might be interested in making a little bit of money. You might be looking to change your career. You might be wanting to become financially independent, or you might just be here to support me. Hey, thanks for being here. Now, if I'm doing that one-on-one, that's how I would say it. If I'm doing it in front of a group, ladies and gentlemen, you may be here to find out more about the products. You might be interested in earning an extra $300 to $500 per week, a career level of income, etc., etc., etc. Thanks for being here. Now, this next slide. We may not be for you. You may not be for us. The reason we say that, ladies and gentlemen, is that it puts the prospect in a group in a situation of feeling comfortable that they're not going to have their arm twisted at some stage. You may not be for this. Look, we may not be for you. You may not be for us. But I think you'll find the next 30 minutes very interesting. It puts the prospect at ease and puts the prospect in a position of now wanting to listen. Now, this next slide. This next slide answers most objections before they're raised. There are many groups marketing these products. Now, by the way, I'm now going to just do it as though I'm doing a group presentation. I think you've got the idea. The way I've explained what I'm saying to Sharon is one-on-one, but what I say to 100 people or 500 people, exactly the same set of words. Now I'm going to talk as a group. Look, ladies and gentlemen, there are many groups marketing these products. We do it a little bit differently. We focus on healthy, active lifestyle, not just weight loss. Let me tell you why we say that. Because many people have a perception of Herbalife as being a weight loss company. And so they've made a judgment about that. Why we focus on healthy, active lifestyle, this is different. So whatever that perception has been in the past, these guys are different. The next thing, we've got a marketing strategy that uses proven methods, not dependent upon selling to friends and family, albeit when you get a great result on these products, your friends and family will want to be involved. What that does is overcome the objection, oh, do I have to go and sell to all my friends? The next point, we make product results the foundation of the business, not just marketing and money. Now, what we're doing here is establishing a point of decision at the end of the presentation. So we're talking about product results as the steps, because everybody can have an opinion about the marketing and everybody can have an opinion about money. But frankly, the product testimonials, they can't have an opinion about those. This next one is a real key. We focus into other countries. We think locally and we work globally. Actually, that should be the opposite way around, just as I observed this, but nevertheless, we work locally and think globally is what it should be. But anyway, let me tell you why we do that. You know, people have got their preconceived ideas. Oh, look, the market here in Australia is saturated. Now, you can go and spend half an hour explaining that, or I say, yeah, I agree, it's saturated, that's why we focus into other countries. Now, if I'm in Indonesia, oh, look, nobody can afford the products here, yeah, that's right, that's why we focus into Australia. If I'm in America, look, everybody knows about, yeah, that's right, that's why we focus into other countries. All it does, it instantly overcomes all objections. And this final point, with a strong, localized and systematized training and support. What that does is overcome the person's concern, am I going to sign up and be left alone? Let me move on to the next slide. Let me talk about our market. Now, if you're in a group, what we do at this point is bring another distributor up to talk about the marketplace. But if you're doing it yourself, there's only a couple of you, 70% of our marketplace is a diet-related health challenge. By the way, you can almost read this presentation off. That's 70% of the people you know. Most people experience passive health, not dynamic health. This is why. In your small intestine, you've got what's called villi. Next slide. This is when nutrition is absorbed into your body through stress, pollution, etc., etc. The villi becomes energetically impaired. Even if you eat good food, it's difficult to absorb the nutrition from that food. What that does is overcome the objection, look, I'm already eating healthfully. The products are simply food in another form. Delicious shakes, beverages, supplements. Some of you have had that already this evening. Look, the Chinese have been doing this for over 5,000 years. What we're doing there, ladies and gentlemen, is taking away the mysticism of the product. Is this something that is new? Is it? All the company has done is put the wisdom of Chinese herbology into something which is easy to use. Next slide. This is what the products do. They get the villi healthy. The herbs help this happen. We ingest the finest micronutrients, and the process of cell or cellular regeneration takes place. People are fairly healthy, have an energy shift pretty quickly. People overweight take a bit longer to feel the difference. What you're doing there, guys, is again getting it out of, wow, isn't this unbelievable, fantastic? We're just making it a logical process. Let me move on. Here you're going to see a slide which says results. If you're in a little regional area and there's only a couple of you in the room, what I'm suggesting you do at this point is either do some conference calling between each other to get a few testimonials in, or start to build your own portfolio of results on this PowerPoint. And you'll notice there's a little statement here. As you see and hear these results, whom would you like to help? And that's something that we've started to use lately as people are doing their testimonials. I'll say in the group, listen guys, if you're listening to these testimonials, I want you to think about the people that you really would like to help on these products. I think the reasons for that are obvious. Then we move on to the next slide. Remember, this is not magic. It just makes sense when you provide the body with the finest nutrition, the herbs are getting rid of the toxins out of the body heals itself. Now, this is our disclaimer. I've had people say all sorts of stupid things instead of these words. This is simply what you say. What it's doing is making it logical. It's just logical, ladies and gentlemen. If you get the good stuff in and the bad stuff out, these results are happening. You don't need to amplify it. You don't need to expand upon it. Those words are sufficient. Next slide. Obviously, with these sorts of results, we've got a terrific business. Let me tell you how our company started. It was started by a young fellow called Mark Hughes. Mark's mother died from an overdose of a weight loss drug when Mark was only 18. And so he set about finding a way that would help people lose weight that was safe and natural. Now, I've heard people spend 10 minutes talking about this. The truth of it is, people really don't care. What they want to know is where it started. It didn't start out by a bunch of smart business guys sitting down and trying to work out a business. It started a result of a tragedy in this young man's life. So move through that quickly. And since then, next slide, and since then, this is what's happened. We've been in business now 33 years, 30 in Australia. We've got over 65 million customers. Now, at this stage, start to go through these facts fairly quickly. And the reason why is people are getting close to stopping listening. Next slide. We do business in 88 countries. Next slide. We've had incredible growth, 6.4 billion last year. People can see the slide. I mean, they're not blind. They can see the slide. You don't need to spend a lot of time going through that. We trade on the New York Stock Exchange. Again, I've heard people spend minutes on that. Most people don't even understand what Wall Street's all about. So don't spend time talking about it. Let's just move through it quickly. We've got our own cellular and molecular and nutrition laboratories. in the University of California. We've got over 20 doctors or scientists. Again, you don't need to belabor it. Let me tell you all about Stephen Hennig and David. People they're not listening at this point. All this is a little bit of credibility to support what's about to happen. We sponsor all sorts of sporting groups, including LA Galaxy and Lionel Messi. Truthfully, most people, again, zoom through this quickly. People, obviously, you're here because you're interested in generating income. We're onto the slide which says people who want to earn income. There are several ways. One way is you build a client base. With a client base, read this out. With a client base of 20 people using the Ultimate Program on a supervisor profit, you earn about $3,000 a month. These are some of the ways. Some people do it through what we call fit clubs. Some people do it through just being a good example, through referrals, nutrition clubs. But remember earlier on I said there are people who want to become financially independent, and for those who want to earn the big money, the company pays very generous royalties and production bonuses for those who are prepared to help the company recruit and train, we then go to testimonials. Next slide. If you've got a room with testimonials, fantastic. If you haven't got a room with testimonials, just go back there, If you haven't got a room of testimonials, my take, get some testimonials coming in from on the phone, or start to build a bank of testimonials. As you're listening to these results, with whom would you like to share these results? Next slide. I want to talk about training. Jim Rohn says in one of his books that this is the business in which to get involved if you want to succeed. But he says in making that decision, don't make the decision just on marketing and money. Make it on the training and the support that you're going to receive. Let me tell you a bit about our training. Next slide. It's how-to training. We've got conference calls and training meetings, and again, go through it very quickly. To get involved, ladies and gentlemen, next slide, you get a hold of what we call an international business pack. I prefer to actually have a real live IBP in front of me. I like to hold it. I don't know why. I just feel more comfortable in doing that. When you get a hold of what we call an international business pack, listen to these words. You get a hold of an international business pack. What that does, it licenses you to do business straight away. You get an ID number, which will track your income from wherever it's generated. Get all the tools necessary to start. It also allows you to get a 25% discount on all of the products immediately. We suggest you get a hold of an Ultimate Program at a 25% discount, and at this point, I'm holding up the Ultimate Program so you can start to experience some of these results. We can talk about making money all day long, but frankly, unless you're talking from a position of having had a result yourself, it's pretty much a waste of time. Now, before we finish, I just want you to keep a couple of things in mind, everybody. Number one, people can be negative. That's okay. Don't try and sell or convince anybody. The only person who's got to be convinced is yourself. Secondly, and the way to do that, Jack, or ladies and gentlemen, is to use the products yourself. You can earn a couple of $1,000s by being a good example, but if you want to earn the big money, you've got to be prepared to be trained. Let me tell you why we do these 3 points in a moment. And finally, don't try and do it all by yourself. Work as a team. As a team, you have fun, and if you're having fun, business happens naturally. Now, the reason we put these 3, what might appear to be negative things in it right at the end is this. We leave the prospect at this point in time, and even in many cases they're registered, they've signed up, they leave and they go back into that other world that they were in before they met us. And the responses are, oh, you got to go and sell all these products. Oh, hang on, no, the guy said, no, I don't have to sell or convince anybody, I just got to be convinced myself. Oh, yeah, we've heard about all those businesses where you make a lot of money. No, they said I can make a bit of money, but if I want to make the big money, I'm going to be trained. And what it does, it puts your new distributor in the point where most of the objections that they might hear, you've already answered them before they leave your office. Now, before I finish, I know I've said a mouthful. The PowerPoint, Sharon and Narelle have that PowerPoint, and all it is, guys, again, is a set of words around which you can develop a meeting. the more testimonials you have, the quicker your meeting should be. Meaning, if I've got a room of testimonials, you know all the words that I've used now? I would talk for maybe 7 or 8 minutes maximum, and I get to the testimonials as quickly as possible. If you haven't got as many testimonials, just read the presentation. Those sets of words, if you practice them today, literally tonight, and you had your first meeting tomorrow, you just started in the business, your first meeting tomorrow, you could have that PowerPoint and go click, 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 and say, this is what they showed me last night, and at the end of that, the logical conclusion is somebody is going to get registered and get, in our case, an ultimate program, in your case, whatever it is, but they're going to get registered and get, in our case, an ultimate program. This is the point, ladies and gentlemen. Don't give them $100,000 worth of information. Give them sufficient information in order for them to make a decision to take the next step. If you give them $100,000 worth of information, your $400 or $500 decision has become a $4,000 or $5,000 decision. And therefore, they go into think about it mode, objection mode, and so on. What this is a highway through the prospect's mind where the prospect's in the beginning. A lot of the traffic lights along that highway are red. And so all you're doing is moving those traffic lights from red to amber to green. Red, amber to green. Sometimes we think if we just keep talking, the red lights will eventually become green lights. We all know what happens if you drive and you're going through a city, you run a red light and you think you'll beat the next one, you run another red light, you run another red light. What happens after you run 3 or 4 red lights, then either the police get you or you have a smash. It's the same here. Through this highway, through the prospect's mind, the logical conclusion at the end is, well, do you see an opportunity here for yourself for the products or the business? If you're in a meeting, do not then sit down and run a meeting after the meeting, because they've heard the testimonials, they've got the information. At that point in time, they have sufficient information to take the next step. The next step is a very small step. The outcome of that very small step could be huge, but you're not asking them to make a huge decision. It's a small decision, the outcome of which could be massive. And finally, at the end, we all need reassurance. Before we spend money, before we, if I'm at a restaurant, I'll often say to the waiter, what do you suggest? Now, I'm a good decision maker. I'm at a restaurant asking the waiter what he suggests, and he will confidently suggest the fish. Okay, I'll have the fish. That's all you're doing at this point in time. At the end of the presentation, you are reassuring the person to take a step. In other words, you are making a decision with which the prospect will agree. That's all I wanted to cover. Sharon, back to you.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much, George, for going through all that with us tonight. And there's a couple of things with what George went through there. And I think one of the things that most people have, if they do have any fear of recruiting, it's, well, obviously, what do I say? So we've just covered that. So tick that objection off. And the second thing is that you don't know what to do. But with everyone that we get started, the first thing we do is we get them a product result. Now, if you have a product result and you consume the Herbalife product, you can get someone started in the business. So absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, George, for sharing all of that with us tonight. I just want to put a shout out there and a special congratulations to Narelle, our esteemed leader, for the announcement that was made of her being in the business, well, 15 years, but she's just achieved the 1 million lifetime achievement. So you guys do the math on that, do the division. I did it, and that'll give you the average volume that Narelle's done per month over 15 years with us in Herbalife. So we congratulate you, we thank you, Narelle, we love your leadership, and we're absolutely blessed to have you still active as a President's Team member in the organisation. So thank you and congratulations. We've got some promotions and some vacations and different things coming up. So the vacation is, have a look at the flyer, guys. Oh my goodness, at the Conrad, Bali. Now I don't know about you. I don't know what you're sitting there thinking. At my time it's 9:30 at night, but doesn't matter. I'm thinking that I want to be in that picture. I want to be at that pool, and I want to be there with the Herbalife leaders and having that downtime. So all of the qualification details you can find online. There is still time for everybody to qualify for the vacation, and you get that started, have a conversation, get it sorted, and it really is just a matter of getting into action. So the other couple of things that we've got coming up, next slide please, is the Active World Team University. So you can see the date there at the top left-hand corner, October 18th to 20th. We got Bangkok for that one, and anybody that is on the President's team over the last handful of years will at some point credit their success to attending the meetings, absolutely, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or whatever it is for you, success training seminars, but these bigger events play a massive part in everybody's success. And you know what, guys, what I've always kept in my mind is you can't expect to get the same results from the leaders that you're hearing by doing something different. It's insanity. So what are they doing? They're going to all of the trainings, qualifying and taking team with them. So ensure that you understand the qualification. Do all you can to absolutely get there to see that bigger Herbalife picture and that Herbalife vision. But that's actually not where it stops. We've got some other things going on as well, and that's the Rising Star program. So the incredible leadership recognition lifestyle experience that you will have within a capital city within Australia. And I mean, 2 nights accommodation, guys, you will be just treated like, I've got to say it, rock stars, movie stars. I mean, when you Herbalife and you achieve, there's no meat trays, guys. I mean, they go all out. So, and that's really just by doing what you're supposed to do as a Herbalife distributor, which is just, it's absolutely fantastic. Where can you get that other than in Herbalife? And it's open to all first-time Active World Team qualifiers, and that qualification actually started in January. So save the date. We've got June the 14th to the 16th, and this is the event. It is the event of the year, and there's only one way to describe it, and that is the fact that it's going to be totally out of control, off its head. It's going to be insane. You must be there. And that's the extravaganza. And where is the extravaganza going to be? Of course, Bangkok. Why? Because I don't know if anyone else can accommodate us, super amazing Herbalife distributors in Asia, because the business here right now is just absolutely phenomenal. If you've never been to an extravaganza, oh my goodness, you have no idea what you're going to get from there. You've got to just trust me, the fact that you just have to be there. There is no excuses by not attending an extravaganza. So the next slide. The New Zealand Leadership, the Health and Wealth Retreat. That is coming up, and coming up pretty quick. So we're in March now, and that's actually in April 19th to the 21st. And please, guys, have a look at the guest speaker. I mean, oh my goodness, Hemang and 20K President's Team member. If you're not sure what that is, do your research on that. But an absolutely amazing story to share. And I don't know whether you guys have heard, but New Zealand is rocking this Herbalife deal. They've got it sorted over there for various different reasons, and that will all be trained at this Health and Wealth Retreat. So we've got some new up-and-coming leadership, and some of that is absolutely coming out of New Zealand. We've got our Supervisor Academy, so join us for the next online Supervisor Academy. Wednesday evenings, everybody has got the details on email. If not, get back to your sponsor. You need to apply for it. You need to be accepted. It's not just, I want to be a part of it. There is a commitment. The information that you get on this academy is really all you actually need to know to actually get to President's Team. You just need to do it better, and do it consistently, and just keep on doing it. So be a part of that. Apply for the Supervisor Academy, and just get online on that one. No excuses, guys. You're all online tonight. You've all got a computer. So, you know, the Supervisor Academy, get to Supervisor and get yourself onto the Academy. The why Herbalife, why now? Business opportunities are more relevant, as it says, to the marketplace than they've ever been before. So, yeah, it's a great way to promote, obviously, the Herbalife business, the Herbalife products, but the really, really great thing is it's not just about that. You are going to get supervisor training, and there is that high-level training. So 1, get yourself there, 2, get some guests there, and 3, make sure you're at supervisor and you're participating in the supervisor training. It's a brilliant element that Herbalife's added to our training and support structure that we have. Some success training seminars that are coming up. We have the details for that. There is a localized Facebook training where you page where you can go to get all the local meetings that are taking place, as well as the STSs. So there's lots of details there, guys. And most of us have had our training just over this weekend. And, you know, we have our HOMs and everything happening tomorrow night, Tuesday night, all around Australia and all around the world. So know where they're at and get along, guys, because that's your next event, is the HOM tomorrow night. And, of course, they're in New Zealand. Sorry, guys. The next All Distributor webinar, you'll see the dates there for that. But what I wanted to do before I move on any further is just to ask George just to pop back on very quickly and just share a couple of things about the couple of events that we've got coming up, George, that you're pretty passionate about right now.
Absolutely, Sharon. I'll be really quick. The date today is the 25th of March. We've got a 1 week and 1 day through to the end of the month. Our month finishes Tuesday week, Tuesday the 2nd of April, just the way our month finishes, which means we've got a little over a week to qualify for what I believe is probably the beginning of the most important period of time in our business. This 4 months, meaning the rest of March, April, May, June, is a 4-month qualification period for Active World Team. And Active World Team, you get Active World Team and get other people to Active World Team. For every Active World Team member you achieve, gives you an extra 10,000 points towards vacation. And I'm going to say to you, if you don't get people to at least do their first month of one of the 4 components of Active World Team before Tuesday night midnight, then they can certainly become Active World Team, but we've run out of time to use that Active World Team component towards vacation. This may not make a lot of sense to a lot of people, but I'm saying this. I've already qualified for level 3 of the vacation. Most of it has been achieved through helping other people achieve what they want. Most of it, not through me, but through other people achieving what they want. In other words, me becoming Active World Team and getting other people to Active World Team is, I see, the most important component of our entire marketing plan now. And we've got a window of 1 week and 1 day in order to bed that down. Secondly, the extravaganza. Ladies and gentlemen, Sharon said it perfectly. Look at what extravaganza does is it expands your expectation to the point where the things you were afraid of yesterday you are no longer afraid of. The things which held you back yesterday no longer hold you back because you grow. You become a better person. You have inconvenienced yourself, and the degree to which you are prepared to be inconvenienced will determine your income and the speed by which you earn it and the numbers of people that you help to achieve what they want as well. Look, Mark Hughes put these sorts of events together 33 years ago. he put these events together because he had a little group of people and he realized the only way that he was going to achieve his dream of changing the nutritional habits of the world was by helping other people become better. And all I need to say to you guys is whatever you've got to do to bed down one of the components of Active World Team, be that the 2.5, be that the 10, be that the 500-point royalty check, whatever it is, make sure that you do that. Number 2, get your ticket to Extravaganza. Get the ticket, get the ticket, get the ticket. Just get the darn ticket tomorrow, because you will change circumstances to support the decision. And finally, for those of you already supervisor, look at qualifying for VIP seating. That's $7.5 each month for the next 3 months. That means you're going to be with us in Bangkok, in the Extravaganza, in the best seats, with the special service and all the rest of the jazz. It's going to be an amazing period of time. And it comes back to what we do in the next couple of days, which can change your financial future forever and the financial future of your families forever. Thanks, Sharon. That's all I wanted to say, darling.
Thank you so much, George. Fantastic. So just going now to the All Distributor webinar. So pop the date in the diary right now, the 22nd of April at 9 p.m. Stay tuned for details. Fantastic session tonight. You know, we're so grateful, George. Have a fantastic night, everybody, and we'll see you all at the top.
See you, mate.